Hi everyone, and welcome to Full on a Journey. Today's reading is going to be about resilience. I recently posted a short video telling the woeful tale of my recent encounter with life and its curveballs, and explored some of the dimensions of resilience, which I think is just a critical capacity for us to have to survive and thrive and evolve in this unpredictable, chaotic, and crazy world. And I'm just really keen to see how the tarot might inspire us, give us some guidance, some ideas, some direction about how we can become more resilient going into 2026 and beyond. So, the sun. The sun, of course, is the source of energy in our solar system. All of life on planet Earth is affected by how much or how little sun reaches those corners of the earth. Some plants like to grow in shade, others like to be in full sun. Some of us live in countries where we get tons of sun, and there are other parts of the world where sun is a rare luxury. Life as we know it on planet Earth is possible because our planet is orbiting at just the right distance from the sun. If we were any closer, we'd frazzle and burn up in an instant. Those of us with fair skins know all about the dangers of sun exposure, and those of us who don't get a lot of sun might, for instance, have vitamin D deficiencies. So the first thing that comes up for me with the sun here in terms of resilience is the real importance of us understanding and having knowledge about where our life force or life forces come from, the things that sustain us. People, particularly in wealthier nations, have become quite detached from the food production process and don't really know much about where their food comes from. It just arrives packaged in their refrigerators. And then the second part, just for now, although we'll get more, is to be wise to just how powerful that life force is and developing or accessing that wisdom about, what the perfect distance is and making sure that we get enough sun to meet all our nutritional and health needs, but also respecting its tremendous power. All right. The Daughter of Cups. The Daughter of Cups is a very soft feminine energy, a young energy. She feels a lot of emotion, but doesn't yet understand necessarily what those sensations of emotion are, where they come from, and what to do with them. It means that she's potentially very vulnerable. It's not often that you see a young water bird like this out on their own. If you do, it's actually something to be concerned about. Young ducklings and goslings and so on stay very close to their mums. The Daughter of Cups is also emotionally wide open in the beautiful way that only a young person who sees potential and excitement and love in everything. The rainbow of her reflection is exactly that quality of the Daughter of Cups, of emotionally being across the spectrum. This is before we have it really crystallized in us that some emotions are okay to show and others aren't. The Daughter of Cups has not yet fully internalized those constraints that come from culture, the law, religion, tradition, our family dynamics, and so on. So what does this tell us about resilience? First of all, it tells us that resilience is as much an emotional capacity as it is an energetic one or perhaps a material one. The Daughter of Cups as wisdom of resilience points to the deep value of remaining emotionally open, emotionally adaptable and fluid. Flexibility and adaptability and agility are key sort of energies of resilience. If we are hardened and fixed and only allow for some narrow part of that spectrum emotionally, we cannot be resilient, because life, sometimes things are up, sometimes things are down, sometimes we're in between, we're confused. Being fixed is not helpful in trying to navigate, in this case, the emotional aspect of the roller coaster of life. The movement, there's movement in life all the time, and our emotion needs to flow somewhere. And best that the gates are wide open, that the dam gates are wide open, so that the river can flow freely. Okay, let's see, what else have we got? All right, the Mother of Pentacles. So beautiful. This little baby deer. So just as I was saying, it's very rare and it's concerning when one sees a duckling, for example, away on their own, away from their mother. And there, exactly in this Mother of Pentacles, she has her little young one securely up against her body, safe. And she's alert, her ears are perked up, she's vigilant. She is vigilant and loving at the same time. This is one of the most sublime qualities of a mother, a healthy, functional mother can be both fierce protector and deep nurturer at the same time. So resilience requires both, right? Because this crazy, unpredictable world, we need to be vigilant and on guard at all times to anticipate problems and be prepared. But resilience also asks of us that we nurture deeply not only ourselves and the people around us whom we love, but our wider communities, societies, and the world. Resilience is also about the relational in a very significant way. We are not built to go it alone. Those of us brought up in cultures that really prioritize the individual over the collective have it drummed into us from an early age that we need to be self-sufficient and independent. And in some cases, asking for help is regarded as a weakness. We don't like the idea of setting up a dependence or debt. But as most other cultures on planet Earth, as well as the natural ecosystems that we are part of, tell a very different story. It is about connection and about community and about mutuality, where we're on the lookout for each other. As they say, it takes a village to raise a child, right? So this deer also has her eye out when she's in that mother aspect for the young ones of those that are not part of her direct blood family. It's a sense of community that we're all part of this collective, that we are interdependent, that we keep a lookout for one another, we protect one another, and we nurture one another. Let's get one last card here. Right. We have the 9 of Pentacles. So that is so interesting because I just talked about self-sufficiency. And the 9 of Pentacles is exactly that. It's having mastered and accomplished, in a material sense, self-sufficiency. You can see these feathers kind of holding these beautiful pentacles that look like gold coins. It's like, these are mine. So when it comes to resilience, this is deep ancestral knowledge. It's also scientific knowledge, and then practical experience from doing it, of having gone through the whole cycle that ends up with this basket, the fruits of your labor, literally, and then applying the wisdom of extracting the seeds and storing them and keeping them for later planting to start a new cycle. And this is important for resilience. A, because we don't know when our fortunes might change and where we might find ourselves, like I did, in a situation where I really needed to learn how to grow vegetables because finances were really tight and things were in a bit of a mess. But a second point, and especially as it sits here in this particular spread with these cards, is exactly this idea that what I harvest and what I benefit, my sufficiency, should not only be for the self. Hoarding and accumulating more than I need, if our ability to survive and thrive is dependent on others, if we recognize our interdependency and our interconnectedness, it takes a village to raise a child. Hoarding and accumulating for myself and my family is not building and investing in others around me. And the capitalist system, of course, is premised on profit and accumulation. And the whole point is to create generational wealth rather than having this kind of community orientation. And coming back to the sun, where at the start there was this idea of having knowledge of where your life force or life forces actually come from. Where is that source energy that makes it possible for you and me to be alive on this planet? That creates, is also the source of energy and life for all the nourishment, the food, and the resources that we need in order to survive and thrive. But thriving and evolving come from not the hoarding of those fruits, but the sharing of them and the investing in others. Because without others, we have no resilience, or what resilience we have is not sustainable. Namaste.